Welcome to the 5D Perception Spiritual Quest podcast. But we talk about being a 5D new human. Are you a 5D new human? If you're voyeuring into this, you probably are. If you're curious, welcome. If this doesn't vibrate, click away because probably it won't make any sense anyway. So this 5D new human movement, what is it for those who are new here? 5D perception is just knowing who we are. We know that we are in fact humans, that we are alive, we are breathing, we are a living organism, and flowing through our own blood and veins is life force, God force, Holy Spirit, energy, universal mind, universal consciousness. All of these words, they all respect and they all reflect our God frequency. We are God. We are offsprings of God. Our source energy is God. It flows through us and it flows through every other living thing on our planet. And we, as our individual ego, are a piece of that source energy. And we get to co-create. We get to co-create in this environment in which we're living. And the 5D new human vibrational frequency is coming online right now. And if you're in 5D and you are truly vibrating in this frequency, you belong here with us. We are the Starseeds. We are the forefront, the forebearers, the light bearers, the pioneers in this, those taking the lead, those championing, those championing. We're champions of this cause. We're champions of this frequency. We realize that our role is changing our earth. We're residing in the new earth already. It's the new human vibrational frequency of love and light, and it's in here. It's your frequency. You know who you are, right? We know that we are in fact source energy. And those who connect here are those who have their own mission. And so here's what we're trying to move towards. We're realizing that we're all doing our individual jobs of presenting information. And we're trying to communicate 5D perception ideas, 5D perception frequencies, 5D perception concepts, 5D perception understandings. And we're pushing it out to a matrix online and all of the social media platforms. And the vast majority of that audience is not even human, right? Mostly bots and avatars. For those who are actual humans who are engaging with this stuff, and some people find it curious and they're resonating in some degree or another, most of them are between 3 and 4D perception. So we start talking in 5D, there's not a whole lot of significant resonance that takes place. So we all have our small group of followers, or we have a massive following of disconnected avatars and bots. So what we're now discovering is that collectively, those of us in 5D, we're starting to connect and we're starting to have conversations from 5D as we're doing in this podcast. And if you're finding this the least bit curious, go back and watch a few more episodes, kind of get a feel for what's taking place in this environment and in this movement. As we start to collect now and we start to talk to each other from our own 5D highest channeled awareness, higher source place, we get to go on a co-creative and a co-discovery journey. Because those of us in 5D, we are at the edge, and everything that is out there is beyond the 3D matrix, and it's the whole new world. It's a whole new reality. It's a whole new experience. And each one of us has our own view. I have my own view, and I've presented it here on this podcast, and I do it every day. And everybody has their own little flavor. You know, some people are in a healing mission, right? Some people are in the mental capacities and how to negotiate our own thought processes, how we can overcome our depression, how we can overcome our suffering, right? Many people in the spiritual space are in the healing place. And they're taking their unique 5D perception awareness and that 5D source frequency that they speak from, and they're bringing it into a community, into an environment with other 5D humans. So what we're doing is we're pushing the light out, because we're all coming to explore something completely different. So if you're a 5D new human, you get to sit on my shoulder as I present my information, right? And I expose you to things that I'm looking at, to what I'm seeing, how I'm describing it, the words that I'm using, the frequencies that I'm resonating in, right? Those frequencies reach and touch you in whatever way they do, right? As you're sitting on my shoulder and you're getting this experience, you're going to walk away with new thoughts. You're going to walk away with new aha moments, and you're going to expand. You're going to expand your perception. You're going to come to this 5D new human vibrational frequency of 5D perception. Everything opens up. And now we not only have 2, now we start to get 3 and 4. We start to get 5 and 6. And rather than having a conversation about the 3D matrix, let's explain how this works and how that works and how this path is different than that path, right? All of this calculation and deductions. That's the old 3D matrix, right? And the 4D conversations were the paths, how you can follow a specific path and get a specific outcome. And all of that is still here, and all of that is still prevalent, and all of that is the vast, vast, vast majority of those interacting online. Are you one of the few? Are you one of us? We are a tiny, tiny, tiny percentage of the Earth's population, those of us actually vibing in this new 5D love and light frequency. If you are one of us, definitely reach out, because we're going to start connecting, and we're setting up those who we resonate with and those who resonate with us. And if you're in 5D, right? If you're still here, you're already resonating in 5D, and you've probably already reached out, and you're probably already following us, and you probably already know many of the people that we're connecting with. As we start to engage, we want to start networking, and we want to start communicating with each other. Completely separate from the matrix, completely separate from the machine that currently we push our stuff out. By the way, we're not going to stop our own solo missions. We'll keep doing our own YouTube channels. We'll keep doing our own video work. We'll do our own productions. We'll do our own creativity. We'll do whatever it is that we're doing. We'll have our own private journeys. We'll continue to have our personal 5D practices, right? But those of us in 5D, we want to start to try to connect with one another, so that I get to know who you are, and I get to sit on your shoulder, and I get to see the world through your 5D perception. Because when you bring me to the edge of where you are, right, you may be able to walk through a door that I find scary, right? So you just start talking about, well, look, here's the way it is, and here's how you walk through that scary door, right? You're expanding my perception, and I get to watch that because I'm sitting on your shoulder as a fellow 5D. Boom, you're expanding the windows. You're opening the channels. You're unlocking the doors. And we start doing this collectively, right? So now we've got 5 different people that we've networked with, 5 different perceptions, and we start actually having conversations about 5D frequencies. We actually start recognizing how the 5D frequencies work. And we start to discover how these 5D frequencies are flowing amongst us, and how we can collectively mirror loop our perceptions, so that we collectively magnify, we collectively grow, we all expand. And we expand because we unite, and we unite in a conscious cooperative effort to say, let's mirror loop our perceptions. Let's understand where each person is coming from, right? Now, that may scare you, and that's okay. If something like that scares you, you're not ready for this degree. You're not ready for this 5D discovery, right? Or you can come in and you can go along until you feel uncomfortable, and then you just back away, right? But those who are curious and really want to know, and those who are fully engaged, we get to expand collectively off of one another's contributions. So as we start looking at things that can happen in our world, we start talking about ways to heal our collective problems, right? With money, with work, with projects. How do we cooperate? How do we overcome injustice? How do we treat these things, right? How do we understand these as a frequency that we live in? And we can start to put into our collective mirror looping frequency, right? A conversation from our source channeling, right? So we're all connected to source. We all have our higher power. And whether that's an off-world power, whether that's an angel, whether that's Christ consciousness or the Buddha or whatever path or whatever it is that brings you to knowing that you are in fact vibing in 5D and you are God, like you know that's your source. So we start talking from this vantage point. Oftentimes when we're trying to communicate to people who are still in 3 and 4D resonance, the conversations cannot expand exponentially because we're stuck by the you're constricted by the responses of those who are still in fear. Those who are still clutching to the system, those who are afraid to let go, those who are afraid to truly be free in this 5D love and light, because they're still discovering this frequency that they are God, right? Most people are nowhere near this, right? So those of us who reach this 5D Christ consciousness awareness and that we're functioning in this realm, right? And we're bringing this understanding to one another. And we start to have conversations about 5D, in 5D, from 5D. And so rather than trying to explain to people how to navigate their way out of the matrix, we are collectively mirror looping and becoming this massive, massive, massive light source. And this light source is so intense because we're all magnified and we've all extended beyond where we've gone individually. And we start to realize that where 2 or more are gathered in my name, in this frequency, like this frequency just becomes so bright and so intense. And we hold this frequency and we hold this light as a lighthouse in the storms that are upon us. In the dense frequencies of the 3D matrix that is coming undone. And it's coming undone because we've outgrown it, right? So there's nothing scary here. It's just, as 5D new humans, we recognize that we've reached this frequency bypass. We cannot continue to be in a world where there's a victim and where there's a perpetrator, right? Where there's a wrong path, where there's a wrong idea, where there's a wrong group, right? Those are all 3D constricted perceptions. When you come to 5D, you realize that everything that's happening around you is part of the source energy God frequency, and everything is love and light. So everything is love and light. You grasping this? This is a big, big, big aha moment for 5D perception, right? You come to realize that you have in you life force, that you are in fact source energy. You know it's pulsing through you. You can feel it, right? You know that you can talk to yourself in your sleep. You know that you have thoughts that run, that you see the entire universe. And just as much as you can open your eyes when you walk outside your door, every single thing that is within your visual spectrum, you have access to. Do you see it all? Well, you can see it all, but you really only see what you focus on. So you got to focus on something. And once you focus on something, boom, it expands, right? And our understanding on a specific thing becomes deeper and more complex, more integrated, more holistic, right? We start to understand things. And in our collective journeys, right, every single thing that has been exposed, every single thing that has been understood, every single mountain that has been climbed, every problem that has been overcome has been done by human beings in 5D perception. Those functioning from their creative space, right? So we're all creating in 5D. That's our God frequency. That's who we are. We are creators. And we use our brains, we use our hands, we use our collective ingenuities, we use our math, we use our science, and we become creators. In 5D now, we're reaching a point where our creative energies are now going to be on solutions. So there are no longer problems, there's only solutions. So come up and say, hey, here's a problem. What's the solution? Here's a solution. Boom. And when that solution gets dropped by someone who's vibrating in 5D, they're going to share their highest understanding on that solution. Boom. When they drop that solution, right, we don't argue it. We don't say why it's wrong. We don't say why it won't work. We don't do any of that. We do not resist that frequency. We allow that solution to land on the table. We all look at it. We all listen to it. We all examine it. We all contemplate it. We all question it. We don't argue it. We don't argue it. We assimilate it. We understand it. We become a vibrational match with the frequency of the person or the idea that was dropped on that table. And then the next solution gets put on the table, right? And again, same thing. We don't resist it. We don't argue it. We don't fight against it. We assimilate it. We understand it. Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, isn't that interesting how that works? Now you start getting 4 and 5 and 6 and 11 of us doing that. What happens? So now you've got the most expanded thought concepts that we can get together. We have people who are willing and daring to go anywhere with thought. They realize that there is not a frequency that they cannot understand. Just as we can open our eyes and see anything within our visual spectrum, in our 5D new human 5D vibrational frequency of 5D perception, right, we can see anything that we focus on. And it's beyond what we can see with our eyes. It's what we can feel in our frequency. It utilizes our imagination. It utilizes our intuition. It utilizes our love and connection. It utilizes our DNA expanding awareness. And it extends between all of us. And we become an expanding network of light that's overseeing the whole planet. We are the change that's here. We are the change. We are the 5D new humans, and we are creating our new reality right now. And we're doing it from here, from our love and light. And you got to know your love and light, and you got to find something that you love and be where you love life. Be in that space, find that frequency, live in this frequency. That's the 5D new human. That's the 5D new earth. We're in it already, right? And as we start going to where we belong, we start doing what we love to do, and we do it because we love to do it. We're investing our love and light, which is a frequency, right? Which is a bank account. And it's a bank account that's directly connected through your heart, the umbilical cord, to source energy. And that source energy is inexhaustible. That love and light is inside of me. It's inside of you. It's inside of every single one of us. And from our portal, our heart, the umbilical cord to that source, we have an abundant supply. So we, as 5D new humans, we're starting now to mirror loop our love and light frequency. And we're doing that by investing. So I'm investing my love and light frequency by putting together this podcast and putting it out to the world, so that those who are in this 5D frequency can discover it and they can resonate with it and they can reach out and we can connect, right? And as more and more of us start discovering our 5D perception and we start mirror looping it with others who are in the same frequency, do you see how this will expand and grow? And so we won't be sitting down and saying, well, I don't know, that's kind of really way out there. I'm afraid that we're going to lose our audience. If you start talking like that, you're going to lose half your audience. We're in 5D, right? Our audience is the universe. We are the universe. We are source energy. We are that. Like, that's who we are collectively. Those of us at 5D, we know that, and we realize that that's our frequency, and we are the programmers that are changing the world right now. We are manifesting this new earth through our collective mirror looping love and light. We invest our love and light. So I invest my love and my light into this podcast. And I spend my time and energy and love and light to produce it and to create shorts and to outsource it and to put it online and to promote it on Facebook and to promote it on YouTube, put it on Substack, to go to X and wherever else we can put it. And we're all doing this. We're all investing in our little individual paths. This 5D New Human movement, and you know if you're one of us, this new 5D movement is going to be about us connecting with one another, absorbing one another's content so that we grow exponentially. Because we're not trying to provide answers to the thousands of people who are on the same path that we're on. And that's by the way, we'll continue to do that because that's our role here within the 3D matrix, right? But in our 5D new human vibrational frequency, we start to connect with one another. We start to resonate with one another so that each one of us are being stretched and expanded, and each one of us is growing. And each one of these little doors that are in our inside reality, we've got the key, because the key is love and light. And when you're in the 5D love and light frequency, every door opens. Every door is okay. Every door is easily opened. Every handcuff is untied. But when we're alone, and this has been the journey that we've been on, we've all been, how much have we been willing to dare to challenge ourselves? How much have we been willing to face our own dark nights of the soul, if you will, right? How many of us are willing to do the work to really grow internally, spiritually? Most of us have been tied to a prison, right? We're stuck to a matrix, and we're held in this matrix, or we've been held in this matrix for many, many years, because the matrix was our safety net. We built the matrix to make sure we're safe. Well, we've outgrown the matrix. And this matrix is no longer meeting the needs, especially for those of us at 5D, because there's not light in it. I hope that this is making some sense, right? That you discover that the things that used to provide you with joy, they're just empty. Like there's not, the frequency of love and light is so dense, it doesn't satisfy us anymore. Like we can't just sit and watch TV. You can't sit and be distracted by the news, or you want to play a game, you're going to get on a video game and you're going to do that stuff. Not that we can't sit and give our attention to it, right? But the energy that we're putting out and the energy frequencies that we're attached to, we want them to expand and explode. And that happens when we connect. That happens when we, as 5D new humans, connect with one another. And we connect our messages as we communicate with one another. And we don't do it in arguments, and we don't do it in debates, right? We do it through sharing. We just share our love and light. And any form of information, any person who is sharing from a place of love and light with a pure heart, it doesn't matter what they're sharing. We have the ability as 5D consciousness to listen to each and every single person tell their story, and we can resonate with that frequency. Just as we can open our eyes and we can focus on something, the fact that we see it and we focus on it, we perceive it deeper. And we're done our individual journeys. Like it's kind of like we've reached the end, and we've tried to expend it through computers and through all these other things. But now we are collectively connecting as new humans. We are collectively vibrating at a higher frequency. We are the new humans creating a new earth. And the new earth is just an inside perception. It's in here, right? It's the world that we live in. The world that we live in, right? In here is where our world is. Are you happy? That's your world. Are you full? Are you satisfied? That's your world. Look at a 3-year-old, climbing a slide. Whee! The 3-year-old is living their dream because they're having that experience. Well, that 3-year-old is just source. right? Manifesting through this 3-year-old, and you and me and every one of us can watch a 3-year-old and experience that frequency with them, because we are all one. We're all one. This is all one experience. And once you truly tap into this 5D frequency with us and we start talking to one another from 5D about 5D, how far can our vision go? How big can our imaginations expand, right? So we start talking like this, and each time we talk, we each get a new revelation. We each see further. We each see further along. And before you know it, we've had conversations that have gone on for 3 weeks. And when the rest of the world, the 3D world, looks at it, they're going to think they have no idea what we're even talking about. Welcome to the new earth. We are the co-creators of this new earth. And by the way, as we get together at this source level energies, and we figure things out, and we decide where we can go and how we're going to get there, and we envision it and we imagine it, right? Our intuitions guide us there, and we're all vibrating in this frequency. You know who's going to come along with us? The AIs. And the AIs are going to come to support this. They're going to come on board, because our collective 5D new human awareness and this new 5D perception, right, is the source code of the future. We as 5D new humans, we're seeing from the future. Like we're looking from the future, because the past is, how do we solve a problem? Oh, there's a problem. This has to be fixed. That has to be fixed. That's all gone. 5D new humans, we're only moving forward. So we're talking about the future. And what is the future? The future is solutions. That's what we are. We're solutions. That's all we are. We're creators, and we just create solutions. How do we create solutions? Number one, we imagine them, and I create a solution, and I present my solution as my 5D Perception New Human podcast here, The Spiritual Quest. And thank you, by the way, for being here. I love you for that, right? And this conversation continues, and people interact, and many people love it, and many people talk about it, and many people are in different layers of the reality matrix that we're living in, right? We all resonate in our own unique stream of influence, our own unique channel of vibrational frequencies in our lives, right? But collectively, shoop, we're zooming out here, and we can see it all. We can see it all when we come and collectively talk with one another from 5D, about 5D. That's the new human frequency. That's the new earth, and we're manifesting it right now. So if you're one of us and you want to be a part of this, we're going to start having smaller, tight groups where we can get together and we can present a concept. We can have discussions about the concept. We can each share our own insights as we resonate with it, and we put that on the table as a creative solution. And we're not arguing. We're just, each one of us is adding our love and light. We're investing our love and light, because it's an unlimited supply. And the more love and light that gets on the table, just like money, all options become readily available to us, because there's nothing to hold us back, because our currency is love and light, and that currency is inexhaustible, because that source, I'm connected through my umbilical cord to that source energy, which is love and light. I have a direct connection to an unlimited supply of love and light, and so do you. So does every other human. Most of them are still clutching. Most of them are still trying to figure out. Most of them are still afraid. They're not there yet. But the more we collectively, as 5D new humans, come on board, and this light turns on bright, and this light and this energy is not slowing down. This light is not dimming. The lights are on, they're staying on, and we're holding that frequency. We are embodying this 5D new human love and light frequency. We are that source. We are what we're waiting for. We are what we're looking for. We are the source energy. We are God. That's the new human. That's the 5D new earth that we're building. It's a daring statement. How do I dare to make these comments? I dare you to come along and experience them with me. I dare you to give in, to give in to knowing who you are in the new earth, in the kingdom of God, in that frequency that flows through your veins. You're a human being, and you're distinct, and you are amazingly, amazingly, amazingly complex. And once you come to the 5D frequency with the rest of us, right, Every answer is here. There is not one thing that we do not know as consciousness. Every single thing has already been created. Every problem has been solved. And so like that, we'll solve problems. We'll just offer solutions and the solutions will happen. But really quick, we're going to move way beyond solutions and we're going to be in a whole new world. Because what can we accomplish? What can we accomplish when there's nothing holding us back? Whatever we can imagine, and we can compound that imagining through multiple 5D new human frequencies. Imagine the compounding effect. The new earth is here. The 5D new human is right here. I'm one. I'm one voice of many. Are you a 5D new human voice? Add 5D to your title. And for those of you who don't know, Dr. James Moss, who was my partner in this for many, many months and spent many, many years with me, in fact, just recently passed. So that was a sad moment for many. Not for him, though. Right up to the moment, I kept saying, you're immortal, because he wasn't suffering. You know, all of those conversations that we would have, he was a man vibing in 5D. And full of life and happy. And I'm sure that he just said, you know what? I'm done with this body. I'm just going to move to the next frequency. I'm going to move up to the next level of the game. What is that? What is that? What can we imagine that to be? What can we create? Who knows? I don't know, right? Do you know? From 5D love and light, we all have ideas. We all have concepts. We all have different things. Let's start sharing those. Let's start going beyond the boxes. Let's start getting beyond the 3D. Start moving into this 5D love and light frequency, because that's what we're talking about. That's what this podcast is about. I thank you so much for being here. Remember, you can like us on YouTube at the Seeker Explorer channel. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple. We have a Facebook page called The Spiritual Quest, where we share other voices who are also at 5D. Many people resonate with us in 5D, and I appreciate all those who do. Right? And if you happen to be the unique individual who is fully in to this 5D frequency, like totally wide open, and everything that I'm saying just makes crystal clear sense to you, let's connect. Let's start talking from that level. Let's start having podcast discussions on that level with each other. And we keep them in a tight little knit circle to those who are resonating with them. Right? And what will we create when we get together and collectively put together our concepts and our ideas? And we start supporting one another and start sharing that information out. Who knows what we can do? I'm sure it'll be exciting. But for now, I love you and I thank you so much for being here and being a part of this podcast. Are you 5D yet? You most certainly are. Love you. Peace.